It was Christmas Eve of 2015. My brothers, and my parents were going on a walk in the street to see what people's houses look like, their decorations. We usually do that every Christmas Eve. But this night of Christmas Eve was the terrifyingest night of my life. So, doing the thing all again in 2015 of Christmas Eve, looking at people's houses about somewhere around 9. And that's when we all saw him. A guy dressed as Santa Claus. I had a bit of a fear of Santa Claus, so I was really kind of creeped out. But he wasn't doing anything. He was just standing there. That's when he turned around and he saw us. And that's when I was terrified of my life. He was holding a frickin' axe. I was terrified. But my parents told me and my brothers to ignore the man, just don't look at him. I would sneakily just look at him, and he just looks at us. And then I started to think he was following us by, because every time I look back, he's always there. I was getting a little creeped out, and I told my parents if we can run, and they let us off to run. We were all running, and that's when I turned around, I saw him again on the other side of the street from us. It looked like he was trying to get near my mom and dad because we were running. But the Santa wasn't looking at me and my brothers anymore. He was looking at my parents. I was getting creeped out, and they told us to. And my parents shouted to us to keep running. We did, and that's when I saw the Santa Claus with an axe started running to my parents and covering his hand on both of their mouths. We have to get the fuck out of here, I said in a clear and loud voice. We ran for our lives, and that's when we saw our parents following us. We told them how did they survive, and they didn't explain. They were just telling us to run. We kept running when the Santa Claus was chasing us like he wasn't gonna stop. And then we called one of the people's houses to tell them to call the cops because there was a man dressed as Santa Claus chasing us with a weapon. But then when we turned back, he was gone. We were confused, but we called the cops and reported him. They didn't find the Santa Claus anywhere. But really, I'm so glad we're alive, and my parents. Have you ever had that fear of Santa Claus when you sit on his lap and he could take you somewhere? To his truck, if he had a truck, kidnap you, torture you, and maybe kill you? That nearly happened to me. So, me and my mom were at the shops buying stuff and getting stuff, whatever. And then we saw a Santa Claus sitting on people's laps, like every Santa Claus at shopping centers. And then my mom told me that if I wanted to go there, and I was like, yeah. I did want to go to Santa Claus. I wouldn't mind telling him what I wanted for Christmas. And there weren't much kids there anymore. Like, no kids around when I got there. It was my turn. So I sat on his lap. He quietly told me, "What do you want for Christmas, little boy?" I was a little freaked out because, like, why would he talk like that? Wouldn't he talk like a happy voice or something? Because he's Santa Claus. And then he said, and he was saying weird other stuff. I don't want to explain it, but I was getting a little freaked out over the Santa Claus. But mostly he's been asking me of what I want for Christmas. So I asked him what I wanted, and I did want a Nintendo DS. And then my mom was whispering to Santa something. I couldn't really hear, but he said, that's when I heard Santa say, "All right then. He'll be fine." I saw my mom walking away and telling me she'll be right back. And I was kind of I was just sitting on the red carpet thing next to Santa. And he then told me to sit back on his lap. I did. So he asked me what I want for Christmas, and I already did. I told him I did. And then he said, "Remind me." So I did, and he said, I have a Nintendo DS in my truck. Do you want to go check it out and get it for free? I didn't. I was confused, but being a dumb little boy, I was excited because I would say no, because if I was if I knew a lot about Santa Claus, I would not do it. If I knew a lot about Santa Claus. But I was a dumb little boy, and I would think about, wait, what about a sleigh though? And so I would think no, but because I was dumb, I went over there to see if he had a Nintendo DS. When we got up, and we were walking over there, that's when my mom went past me, and she saw that the Santa Claus and me was gone. She was freaking out. And then she turned around, saw me with Santa Claus. She grabbed me and pulled me away from the Santa Claus. And she slapped the Santa Claus right in the face, and she told the Santa Claus what he was doing, and what he was doing with my son, which was me. And he was like, and he said, and then he ran off. We called the police, and they got him. He went to jail. They said that he was a kidnapper that usually rapes people, tortures them, and kills them. That's usually what could have happened to me. Being a dumb little boy, that could have happened to me. Thank you to my mom quickly coming back. I would have been killed, kidnapped, tortured, dead. Thank you for watching our Christmas horror stories. Make sure to add your comment down below of what scary stories you want us to tell next time. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and like, and happy holidays. Santa's coming to town.